Hello and welcome to the Missouri Alliance for Arts Education Elevate Professional Learning webinar series. My name is Dr. Cynthia Williams Phelps and I'm Director of Professional Learning, and we are also joined by Lauren Hanahan, who is the Assistant Director of Professional Learning as well as our Arts Integration Specialist. So thank you all for being here this evening. We're very excited about Rachel Johnson joining us to share gifted music, exploring music and gifted education. And thank you all for joining us. Today's presentation is recorded for future use. And if you don't wish for your image to be visible, please turn your camera off. Any breakout session interactions are not recorded. Please remember to mute your microphone and enter your questions, comments, and responses in the chat. And you can enter your questions in the chat at any time throughout the presentation. So in the chat today, would you please add what inspired you to be here? And then also sign in, let us know you're here, sign in using the link in the chat or the QR code on the screen. So we'll give you a moment to do that. Again, thank you for joining us today for our Elevate webinar series. And we are adding into the chat what inspired you to be here today, and then also using the link to sign in. And you will find that in the chat. So with our Elevate webinar series, our goal and mission is to elevate teaching and learning for all educators and students through equipping art-centered learning, empowering vision for arts education, amplifying artistic teaching practices, and engaging arts education opportunities for all students. The Missouri Alliance for Arts Education acknowledges the boundaries of the state of Missouri encompass the traditional lands of the Chickasaw, Kickapoo, Osage, and other indigenous groups. We honor the BIPOC community's continuing presence, ideas, and contributions. So Lauren is going to lead us in a warm-up before our presentation today.
Yeah, so this is a warm-up. It's called Artifact. It is from a book called Drama-Based Pedagogy. This comes out of the University of Texas. I'm going to actually have, Cynthia, I'm going to have you stop sharing because I'm going to use the full screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to put these 3 things in the chat here so that we can remember. But what's going to happen is I'm going to share some stuff on the screen. And the first thing we're going to do is just kind of describe what I'm showing you. Okay.
Here we go. Okay. I have
Okay.
stopped sharing.
So the first thing you're going to do, and if you want to like pin me or something, just so I'm kind of big on your screen, the first thing we're going to do is describe. So we're going to pretend like we're a bunch of second graders right now. So just have fun with it, go with it. And we're in our circle, and I have a box with me today. And there are a few different things inside this box, and I'm going to show them to you. Are you guys ready to see what's inside my box? Okay.
Yes.
Here is the first thing inside my box. You're going to just look and observe and notice, and then describe what you see. You can unmute at this point and tell me what you see.
A light bulb.
Yeah. What else? Any colors?
I see white, I see silver, I see black.
I'm going to try it. Let's see if I can. Okay, so we see a light bulb. Great. Anything else we want to add to this? All right, let's see what the next thing is. Describe what you see.
A glass with liquid in it.
Okay.
A glass bottle with a clear liquid, a cork,
Okay, what do you think?
a cork at the top.
Hmm. What do you think that clear liquid might be?
Mm, oil.
It's happy hour, so maybe something yummy.
I see in the chat somebody said a glass bottle with cork and water. Okay. So far I've shown you two things out of my mystery box here. And so we were going to describe and then analyze or kind of start reflecting and relating. So between these two things, are there any kind of connections so far between a light bulb? We noticed it was white. There's this glass jar that there's a cork. Are there any kind of, oh, they're bushing. Is there any other connections yet?
Both round.
Okay. Remember, we're thinking through the lens of a second grader at this point too. I'm going to bring something else out from my mystery box. So you think you're ready? Keep these
Yes.
in mind. Let's see what else is in here. What do you see here? I'm going to fold it. It's kind of big. I can't see you guys. I'm going to hide the messy bedroom. My parents are visiting, so I'm in their guest room right now. What is it? A black piece of paper. Okay. Yep.
A rectangle.
Paper folds it. Okay, so now our descriptions are getting a lot better now. Good job. Okay, so now we've got a light bulb, a black piece of paper, and a glass with liquid in it. We're still not sure what it is. Any kind of connections we're seeing now about what we might be learning about today in class or over the next week? Any guesses? Do we need another clue? Okay, let me see
Yes.
what else I have in my box here. Maybe this will help. What do you see here?
A plant. Green.
Ah, somebody found a connection. Let's take a look. We've got a light bulb, water, blackness or darkness, and a plant. This week in science, friends, we're going to learn and find out what a plant needs or what will happen to a plant when we give it light, when we give it darkness, when we give it water, when we take away water. So this is an activity called Artifacts, and it is a fun way to kind of bring in some curiosity, some deeper thinking. It's a fun way to start a lesson and kind of build those connections, kind of like we just did. It's a great way for older kids. If you're doing a history lesson, you could bring out an old notebook and have kids kind of draw conclusions on maybe which historical character whose notebook it is and why they think it's their notebook. We can bring in some different elements to really build on it. So it's just a fun way to kind of start a lesson, engage kids in a new unit or activity, and get our brains kind of creatively thinking and going. Thanks for playing along.
Thank you, Lauren. I love that. Okay, I'm going to share screen again, and we are going to introduce our presenter, Rachel Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Rachel is a gifted educator. She is a music educator for gifted students at the Center for creative learning in the Rockwood School District. She has a master's in gifted education in K through 12, and her undergraduate degree is in music education, K through 12, strings, band, and vocal. Rachel has been an educator for the Rockwood School District for 6 years, and she was an elementary music educator for 10 years in the Hazelwood School District. Rachel is also currently our awards and contest coordinator for the Missouri Alliance for Arts Education. So thank you, Rachel, for being here. And now I will stop sharing screen again and hand it over to you.
Okay, can we all see this?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you for the introduction, Cynthia. I appreciate it. My name is Rachel Johnson, as she said. I am going to be talking about gifted students and music and really how it connects all to the arts. The first thing I'm going to mention is how I got here in the first place. I teach at a gifted school here in Rockwood. We host kindergarten through fifth grade, and I am one of two music teachers here. You need to have your certification in music and you need to have your certification in gifted in order to teach at a pull-out school like this in your district. But as I've always said, I've been teaching gifted kids since day one, and so have you all. So you just need those certifications to be teaching a setting like this, but every teacher encounters gifted students, whether they're diagnosed or not. And then when you're working in the arts, you also are not just a classroom teacher, you're also teaching those same students in your music classes and your art classes. So how do we reach gifted students in music? And my humble opinion is to always have your students create. No matter what your lesson plan is, try to wiggle in creation and innovation somewhere in your lesson. Or if you can't get it in your lesson, there are lots of little activities that you can do just to get your kids' minds thinking outside of the box. As teachers, we already do this, but we should pay a little more attention to their creations. Notice how I didn't say like pay attention to our gifted kids because some kids are diagnosed, some kids aren't. So there's kids who really flourish in the art classes and your music classes, but they struggle in other classes. So why not praise and make a big deal out of things that they are good at? If creation and creativity is one of them, go for it. So that's why I apply this to all of my students. One of the units that I do here at the Gifted School is for my fifth graders is a STEAM project, and it's creating instruments out of recycled materials. How the school is set up, I have kids every quarter, different sets of kids every quarter. So my quarter one kids will be with me, they have music, but then quarter two, they go next door to the music teacher next door. Quarter three, they'll have art, and quarter four, they'll have another art. So I get them for a short amount of time, but this actual project that I've done it when I was in Hazelwood, and I did it when I was at the regular school at Westridge Elementary before I came to the gifted school. And I did them in semesters, so I would do it in the spring, the whole spring for my fifth graders. So they get to build their an instrument out of recycled materials, and you're wondering, well, where did you get these recycled materials from? I simply asked my community. I asked the parents. I put something in the newsletter, and you would not believe all the things that the parents have brought in for all kids. So I would ask the whole school. So kindergarten parents would donate for the fifth graders to make their instruments. So if you're thinking like, oh, I've kind of always wanted to do something like that, but I don't know where to start right there. And if you like don't feel comfortable asking your community, just ask your coworkers. Send a staff all, hey, I'm doing a project with my fifth graders. All we need is recycled things. Leave it outside of my room, and your room will be flooded with things. I teach them how to do the invention process. It's the engineering design process. It's used through people who want to invent things, and I just apply it to music. So the first thing that they have on here is asking. So I would always have my kids, okay, what could you make out of recycled materials? So I show them the backstory, the history, and that's music that's connected to science, music that's connected to sound. So we do a sound unit about sound waves and frequency and how we hear vibrations. All that back knowledge kind of gets them thinking like a scientist, thinking like beyond, okay, we're just in music. How can it connect? Of course it connects. And here with all of the arts, we try to connect the arts to everything else, math, science, social studies, everything like that. So that all goes into the ask and then the imagine. Okay, boys and girls, what do you imagine you could possibly create out of these recycled materials? So I tell them and I show them examples. I have physical examples, like I made something out of a coffee can. The music teacher next door made something. I had the kids pass that around so they could physically touch it. I showed them videos of first graders. So they're fifth grade. So I showed them videos of first graders making instruments out of recycled materials. And then I showed a professional that all he does, he makes instruments out of like the wood slabs underneath a bed, like way up there. So not only are you reaching your kids of like, okay, I'm don't know if I can do this, but hey, this first grader made maracas, to my super high gifted kids who are thinking above and beyond. I showed them a professional making all those things. So I like to give them a wide range of examples to, number one, build their confidence, to show them the possibilities that they can do. So when they're in this imagine state, they can go down to the planning stage, which is probably my favorite one. It keeps our kids organized. So they have to sketch out their instrument of how they want it to look. And then at the bottom, I added, okay, tell me what you need. I want every single thing that you need to make this instrument. And I tell them to be very specific to, you need 6 rubber bands. Okay, how many, like what kind? Thick ones, thin ones. You need glue. What kind of glue? You need Elmer's or you need a hot glue. So when they turn that in and they come to my back table with me and we discuss their plan, and they also get to work with a partner if they would like. That keeps them organized, but honestly, it keeps me organized because I'll say, okay, Mrs. Poole's class, I know I need to make sure I have my hot glue gun ready because Johnny and his partner need a hot glue. So keeping it all organized, this project might seem like wild and pure chaos, but it's only pure chaos if you let it be. So after they get done planning, they get to create, and I let them create as long as they want. If it takes 3 weeks, if it takes 4 weeks, that's the magic that you get to see with these kids making their instruments, and you're right there to help them. I'm walking around. I'm always really kind of at my hot glue station, helping kids hot glue. If they have a question, they run up and ask me, can they help? They help each other. And you also can get other teachers involved. I've had teachers come into the classroom, be like, "What are you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Come right on in, help, help these kids make these instruments." And the teachers and parents and even administrators would love to help, just help these kids create. Now, once they have created their instrument, they get to do the experiment stage where they come to me and they have to show me how to play their instrument. So they are all excited. They come and show me, and they pluck their little guitar, and a rubber band breaks. I'm like, you know what? Now you're in the improvement stage. Go back, figure out how to edit this. What have you done good? What do you need to improve on? I give them feedback, and that whole process, it really, really builds the students' confidence. And it also teaches them about a whole nother topic of saving the earth. What are we doing to be eco-friendly? So there's so many different angles of this project specifically that the kids can really think outside of the box with this project. You can tie it to the community if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know where to start. Of course, you can always contact me, but also how I got started in this. The Sheldon Art Gallery has a program where they come out to your school for free and do an assembly about science and sound. They have people that are also educators that come, they do science experiments about frequencies and waves, and I think they can do it twice at your school. And all you just do is go to the website, sign up, and you book a day that they get to come. I've had them do my entire grade level in the gym during specials, and then this year they only did two of my classes in my classroom. And then at the end, you get to take a picture of your kids with their instrument and you could submit it to them, and then they will pick a couple kids from your school to be in an exhibit at the end of the year that their parents can go, and then they get to see all the kids in the St. Louis metropolitan area of instruments that they made. They have a reception, they have refreshments, it's a whole thing. So that's something that you can get into. As far as St. Louis is concerned, as a wide range for this STEAM project. I just do that with fifth grade, but honestly, you can do that with any grade. And you don't have to be a music teacher to do this project. Here are some examples. Some of these pictures are from my kids, and some of them I found off the internet that I show my kids. So, like the Cheez-It one, I show my kids that one. And it kind of makes them think like, oh, okay, I see how they did that. And now how can I execute it? So I like to show them lots of examples before they even get started so that they can kind of get an idea of what they want to do. And I can't really see the chat. So, Cynthia, if someone says something, you could just holler at me. Another part of this is technology. So if you are teaching music and you're like, okay, I'm trying to put creativity in my lessons, but I really don't know how. Here are some music websites that are approved through my district. So if they're approved through mine, they probably are approved through yours that the kids can work on their iPads or their Chromebooks. This one's called Beatbox, and maybe if I can click it, you can have your students create different sounds on here. No idea if you can hear this or not, but the kids can get super detailed and creative with it, as much as they want to or as little as they want to. They even have different key signatures, and then you can press play. There's a ton of other programs kind of like this on Chrome Music Lab. My kids, since all my kids are gifted, doing stuff like this, I'll put parameters on them. I'll say, okay, they need to be 8 measures, or it needs to be this length, and they can send it to me. They get to work on it with someone else. If you're in a regular music classroom and you think, okay, well, I have a gifted kid or someone who is not diagnosed gifted, but are super creative. This is something that you can do with them, and your kids that aren't as creative as you would think they are, they can still get exposed to using technology and music just by, doing a simple rhythm on here. But your elevated kids will just take off, and they will want to do this outside of class with you. My kids come from different schools every day. So say I have on Monday, I have McNair kids, but all the rest of the week they go back to McNair, and they can still work on these different projects and just play with them in their classrooms and at home. I've had kids just send me stuff and they're not even here at school with me. So giving them the technology part. So music is connected to technology and science to make it all rounded. This one bottom, the one on the bottom is called Drum Bit, and Groove Pizza. Chrome Music Lab has a ton as well. With my littles, as I call them, kindergarten through third grade, here at CCL, they don't take, kindergarten does not take music, and first grade does it second semester. But I just went ahead and put kindergarten through third grade because I have done this when I had kindergartners. I take a book of literature, take Carnival of the Animals, and in that story, they will have a bird, and the bird is representative of a flute. And when you try to incorporate creativity with your kids, you can start saying, to the kids, okay, the bird is represented by a flute. Is there another instrument that could have been represented here? And kind of have them think of another instrument that could be represented by the birds. Why was this flute chosen for the birds? Oh, because they have a high pitch. Or is there any other instrument that has a high pitch? Me dealing with gifted students, I take it a step further and kind of make them want to create their own instrument or make that own sounds for the birds. And then you can do it the other way. It's a flute. What animal sounds like this flute? Okay, birds. What else sounds like a flute? A kid could say a chipmunk. And once you kind of get all of the different instruments and say you're going to do instruments and they're going to pick the animals, go ahead and read this book again. And when it comes to that sound, instead of the bird, make it the chipmunk. So it kind of makes the kids make this like a remix of the book. And you have now opened up the minds of kids thinking outside the box of what the author already wanted for the bird and the flute to something else. And the littles, they love stuff like that. You can even take it a step further, which I haven't done, but I'm thinking about it. They can create their own song for the bird because this is a musical type of book. So you can do that with a book for third through kindergarten through third grade. And you can also do this with Zen Zen the violin, or really you can take a book and just kind of make it your own, but wiggle away for the kids to be creative. This is the part where I kind of take the gifted hat off and keep the music and arts hat on, because the Missouri Arts Alliance is advocating to keep music and the arts and dance in public schools. So I know that you're thinking to yourself, what can I do? But if you're an educator and you have a newsletter, say you're our teacher, your school has a newsletter, throw some art in the newsletter that your kids have done. Make your kids a celebrity, because if you don't, no one else will. You never know who's going to see the newsletter. I've been doing that since the my first year teaching, just making people aware of what's going on in your classroom, and you never know who's going to see it. Your hallways, outside of your door, post your kids like a picture of them doing a Diwali dance or them enjoying themselves when you're teaching about Hispanic Heritage Month, or even put a book out there about what you're doing in class, because again, you never know who is going to be walking by your door. I had another teacher at a different school walk past my door at night because her son was has basketball practice at my school, and she texted me and was like, "Oh, I didn't know that your kids did that," because she just looked outside of my door. My door was closed, locked up, but you never know kind of who is looking at your things, and you're being an advocate to your kids and you're being advocate for the arts. Of course, you always hear about inviting your administrators in to see what you're doing. If your administrators can't come in or you don't feel comfortable, send them a video of them doing a Diwali dance, and they can get to it when they feel like it. But it's the effort that you put in that helps promote arts in our schools, because they're always trying to take it away or make us justify it. And Gifted is just in the same boat as well. So it's not just all of our gifted students. We're showing why the arts are important, why we need it in public schools. Arts in gifted programs, that's rare all in itself. Gifted students also need that outlet for the arts. It's very important. I'm lucky enough to be in a district that has that, and I hope that other districts get on board and see that it's important as well to have arts in with the gifted education. States legislators need to be more aware and why the arts help our students' confidence by posting them. You might not think that anyone's looking at the things that you post on the newsletter on the hallways, but the picture of that kid that never gets recognized, they know they're outside of your door, or they know that they was in the newsletter this week about something that they did in music, and just they don't even you don't even have to say, oh, he sang that song the best. Just a picture of them having fun, having a good time. You never know what that will do to build a student's confidence. I would love for anyone to come out to the Rockwood School District to CCL to visit us. I know that a lot of people have never even heard of the arts at a gifted school, let alone a gifted school that pulls out of the classroom and they get to be there all day long. They get to be with us all day long. They eat lunch with us, all that. They get bussed in from their home schools. That's rare, and I know that it is, and I want people to come out and see us, even if it's for a half a day. You can tell your building, I need to go to a PD, and the PD is coming here. And you don't have to be a gifted teacher. You don't have to be a teacher of music or art. You just come and see how we incorporate creativity to our students. We have two music teachers here, two art teachers, but all the grade level teachers teach all different types of subjects. We have, like, next door is archaeology. I mean, when I got here, I was like, what? Like, I just couldn't even comprehend. It's so cool. And even if you're like, well, I can never teach an archaeology class, but see what they do in the class. It's a different way of thinking and how you can incorporate that in your classroom. We're in Ellisville, out in West County. And I had to go observe today in Ladue School District, a music teacher, and she wants to come. And I had never really came and saw things until I started working on my national boards with Lynn, and I didn't know this even existed. It was a thing. So more awareness of creativity in the classroom, gifted students, and more of the arts. As Cynthia said, I am the coordinator for the Missouri Arts and Alliance Awards and Contest. It is literally just nominating people who advocate for fine arts. So if you know a school that's always showing that they support the arts, hit the QR code. Actually, the QR code or this awards and contests is underlined when you get my presentation. Just click it, it goes straight there. Just nominate the school. If your school is always advocating for the fine arts, if you have a principal that's always advocating, if you know a politician that's always advocating for arts in public school, nominate them. Community members, so your any parents, secretaries who would they always advocate, they always are willing to help, they are supporting and helping out. Please nominate them. It's easy to do. Just click the link. Also, there is one that is for student, teachers, administrators, and parents in the community that are creative and are innovative. There is an award for that, who are always creative and innovative in the public school. Also, also we have students can get an award. They can be a student ambassador for the Missouri Arts Alliance, and that's for a whole year. And then we have a contest for student creator contents. They get to create a video and submit it in and see if they can win the award. At the end, they get the award in Jefferson City and the Fine Arts Education Week, which is pretty big. It's a pretty big deal. If you have any questions or want to know more about music in the gifted setting or the gifted setting at that matter, you can email me at my work email. And if you would like to come see what we do here at CCL, also email me and we'll figure something out for a day for you to come. But I really do appreciate you all. If you have a question, I don't know why I can't see the chat. Maybe I was like being nervous. Oh no, I see. Just unmute yourself and speak away.
And please feel free to put your questions in the chat. Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about some of the collaborative work that you do with other gifted educators?
Well, I call him my partner. He is the other music teacher here. He specializes in audio technology and guitar. So my side of music, I teach like singing, dance, culture, and holidays and cultures and stuff like that. And then when it's time for his quarter with my kids, he teaches them all studio work and guitar work. He built a sound booth next door. They get to create that way. So we have a balance between the two of us. And our fourth graders actually, we teach jazz and blues together. So they start learning about musicians, jazz musicians here, of how jazz got started. They get to be music critics and do a project on a musician that they like the most out of their critique. And then they go next door the next quarter and play blues on the guitar. That's one of the things that I collaborate with the other music teacher. But all the teachers here, they've been super helpful. They donate tools for us. I had the teacher across the hall, she donated all the box cutters and things like that just to help me with the STEAM project. So art as well. We collaborate and we talk all the time about how she'll have, and she's actually here with us today, Lynn Blosser, talking about a musician or an artist that she liked and the kids did a project on. So I took a picture, I have a picture of that artist and the piano, and it's outside of my door. So when the kids come to me, they're like, "Oh, we did this in art, and that's a piano." So just making those connections with the other teachers in the building, um, it's something to see.
Great, thank you. What other questions? Let's see. I
Thanks, Nikki.
so in the chat, yeah. Can you see that in the
I
chat?
can see that. Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome.
One
What
thing
other
I would like,
questions do you all? Yeah.
one thing I would like to add is that in working with gifted children, many times the fine arts can be kind of scary because they may excel in math, science, reading, and they may not feel like they are gifted or in the fine arts. And I think, how Rachel introduces music to her students. And although we do know that there is a high incidence of kids being musically gifted, but for those kids who don't feel like they can carry a tune or play any instrument, the way that she introduces music is a great way for them to build on their thinking skills while learning about music. And so then they find out that it's not so scary at all. And so it enables them to do more risk taking, which is something that is hard for some gifted kids because they always like to have the answer the first time, many of them. And in our fine arts, as far as visual arts, we do a lot of interdisciplinary teaching. And I think that's one strength that we see in music is that interdisciplinary approach, as well as in the visual arts is the interdisciplinary approach, because it gives gifted kids, as well as any kind of student, it gives them another lens to see the content and to experience the learning, which I think is really important. And Rachel just does such a bang up job of that.
Thanks, Lynn.
What other questions do you have for Rachel? Feel free to unmute or put your questions in the chat. Do that.
Thanks, Cynthia.
All right. Well, thank you, Rachel, so much for sharing your expertise. And if you will stop share, thank you. If you'll stop share, I have a few things to wrap up our session. And so again, we are so happy that all of you could join us this evening. If you would like or need a PD certificate, please feel free to email me at cynthia.phelps at moaae.org, and I am happy to send you a certificate for attending today's workshop. We also offer graduate credit through Lindenwood University through our Professional Learning Networks graduate course. Again, you can contact me at cynthia.phelps at moaae.org. And then, Lauren, would you like to wrap us up?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. And Rachel, thanks so much for sharing with us. That was amazing. Really great connections and reminders for all of us. Cynthia, my internet is being terrible right now. So if you could drop the link for the survey, that would be awesome. But also, you
I
guys
can.
Scan the QR code on there. We really appreciate your feedback. It helps us create content for you guys that's useful and helpful, just like this one today, that hopefully you can come back each month and learn something new and take it back with you to your classroom. Please invite your colleagues with you. We really appreciate this community and all of you for joining us. So thank you, Rachel, and thank you guys for spending this hour with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.